Time now for a little Q&A with Manpower San Diego's Phil Blair. He's got viewer questions this morning. We do this once a month. He's ready to answer some. Good morning to you.
I am. It's like a pop quiz.
It is like a pop quiz. Let's go to the board. First question. This is from Amy. What about addressing gaps in maybe. Here we go. How should job seekers address employment gaps? Yeah, and reasons for them outside of cover letters.
Well, gaps are a big problem because your resume is telling me in HR all the things you've been doing. And then all at once there's a 2-year gap.
Right.
Well, you don't want us to sort of knee-jerk go to drugs, alcohol, or prison. You're telling me all this, but you're not telling me this part. Usually what it is daycare, taking care of kids. I've started a family, or older relatives, or decided to travel through Europe, whatever. There's a good reason for it.
Right.
So put it in there. And it can be very short. 1998 to 2001, began our family and was a stay-at-home mom. That's great, wonderful. Most interviewers are like, oh, I wish I could have done that, or I did the same thing. So that's all you need to do. You don't need to get a great detail of kids' names, and just tell me what you've done in that period of time.
Otherwise, you will think drugs, alcohol, or prison.
Well, I will, or I'll wonder, and then it's so easy to go to the next resume. Yeah. So you don't want to give me a reason to go, oh, I wonder what that was. Yeah. I'll check it later. No, I won't. And
the unknown, I'm going to move on.
Yeah,
all right.
Exactly.
All right, let's give you another question.
Okay.
Since you answered that one so well.
Thank you.
Here it is. Are you seeing much stigma about new mothers who have taken time off, people who have had to take care of elderly parents or other family/personal matter? Again, this sort of gets to the same question about taking time off and being away from the workforce.
It does, and it follows right on. There is no stigma against taking time off from your career, men or women, to take care of their family.
You say that easily, but I think some women might disagree, maybe, that there is still sort of a stigma.
Okay.
But you're saying you're not seeing it so much.
Let's talk about it. You will be 2, 3, 4 years behind in your career.
Okay.
Okay. Technology changes, the customer list changes, the programs of the company change.
That's just fact. Yeah.
And you're behind. So if you had 2 peers and you took 3 years off to do whatever, and come back, your peer will have a promotion, will be making more money, will have more responsibility, and just eyes wide open, that's the reality. Okay. So when we get into this pay gap, I get a little concerned. If you take 3 years, you don't come back exactly where you're. Now you can earn your way back. There's lots of things you can do to get back, but you're behind the 8 ball a little bit. And I just want men and women, eyes wide open, that is a reality, but it may very well be worth it.
All right, so it's more the reality of the workplace, not a stigma, is what
Absolutely.
You're saying. All right, next question. Here we go. It is, how do you stand out when significantly more experienced candidates are being considered for the same job you're applying? Yeah, these other people might have a little bit more experience, so you're going to have to show maybe a little more mojo, something going on here.
This is always a tough one. And young people coming out of college say this. Well, people with experience are getting the job. I don't have any experience.
And how am I going to get it if I can't get the job?
The older workers are saying they're hiring the younger people. They're cheaper. They know this technology stuff. They're more flexible, blah, blah. I want to go, neither one of you are getting a job with that attitude. You've got to brand yourself and why you're different. And if the job says 5 years experience doing something and you've got 1 year or not, tell me what you do have that overcomes that, that replaces that makes you more valuable. Don't give up, but think about it. Okay, I don't have 5 years experience of that, but I did volunteer work. I did an internship. I did this, or let me relate this experience over here to sales. I joke about sales experience. I was the #1 Girl Scout cookie seller in my, it's in my DNA. I just haven't worked at it yet.
Whatever it takes to offset that experience that you might not have.
That's it.
Let them know. All right, next question up. I believe this is from Craig. I have a cousin on Coronado needing help finding a job in the arts as a curator, overly highly educated, so having a hard time receiving qualified offers. Any ideas about that?
Boy, that's a tough one. And I talk to people in liberal arts colleges, and I want to major in sociology or psychology or religion because I'm passionate about it and I love it.
Right.
Just know what you want to do for a career. Know how you're going to earn a living doing that. Know that you're going to have to get your master's or your PhD. Know that curator in major museums, there's only one.
Right.
There aren't like 50 in every museum. So know how competitive that is and know what homework you need to do to be that one person.
Yeah.
Because it is very hard, and we see this a lot. People, well, I've got my bachelor. Well, in that field,
Yeah.
you should know that you need a PhD in that field. Right? It's really important to students who are picking topics and majors in school to know where they want to land, not where the trip is.
And that's hard to do sometimes when you're young and 20 years old and trying to figure life out and knowing exactly what direction you want to head in. Sometimes it takes another decade past 20.
And young people are going to have 5, 6 careers, not jobs,
Right.
career paths, but they need to prepare themselves for them. And, eyes wide open again.
Yeah.
Research that job market that you're thinking of majoring in now, because you may not be in 20 years or may not be willing to make the investment.
All right, last but least, I believe we have one more question, and
Okay.
it is, any thoughts on the best way to search for board positions? What company is strongest in that regard? Now, not bored like I'm bored, but board positions.
B-O-A-R-D.
Yes.
We got a lot of B-O-R-E-D jobs. That's just a lot of networking. I mean, people that are motivated. It's very much like a job search, right? I'm very passionate about this topic and I want to get involved in it. Well, put yourself out there, make phone calls, network. It's the same thing as looking for a job. If you're excited about the Alzheimer's board and want to get involved in it for personal reasons or whatever your reasons are, work it. Don't sit back and go, I hope they find me, I hope they find me. You find them.
Yeah.
And call and say, I want to volunteer. I want to volunteer in the department. I want to be on a committee.
It's not about the money, right?
There is no money.
Right, that's my point.
But don't say, oh, well, I want to go from this to treasurer of the board. Well, no. Whoa. Volunteer with the work with the clients, volunteer on committees, build your database, and then you'll earn your way onto that
Sounds
board.
like have the passion for it before you
clearly have that,
get
because you're
into
going to
it,
work
right?
really hard for no money.
Yeah.
But the passion is in the heart. But manage your expectations. You don't go from they don't know you to the board position, but earn your way up. And you'll feel very good about doing that. A lot of times on boards, people go, I got involved in this because I like working with the clients. I mean, I did this personally with Planned Parenthood. I loved working with the clients. And then they kept promoting me, committees and chairs and board and chair of the board and another board. And it was like, whoa, what happened?
Yeah, exactly.
Bylaws and fundraising is not why I got involved. So watch that you don't, Peter's principle, keep getting promoted out of that. But this is fun to do. I love having our viewers write in our questions.
Keep doing
and
it,
I love to hear.
How do they do it? Real quick.
KUSI.com/jobs, and there's a spot there that you can make comments.
Okay.
And send them in, and we collect them, and I go through them, pick ones for today, and then we'll post these answers on the website also.
Good.
Okay.
All right, we'll do it again in July then.
Yes.
Okay.
We will.
We'll see you back next.